This is the Quest roaster, and I have been using it a lot because we've been having trouble with our sample roasters. We're rebuilding 2 sample roasters. So I thought I would talk a little about Quest roasting. I'm just starting out a batch right now, and I want to show a couple of things. First of all, adding a bean probe to the Quest. Let's get some focus there. So you have your ambient thermometer here, which you can switch the position. We switched it from here over to here. You should come with 2 nuts. Ours is a little loose, unfortunately, because I lost the lock nut and haven't put one on, but it's fine. I've just basically drilled a small hole here, enough for this K-type thermocouple and our digital thermometer. So it is a really low tech. I just figured I would just drill the hole, see later if I needed to use a fitting, and it's held up pretty well. It's just, more information. Obviously 257 and 200 are quite different. So I've been doing we're pretty well warmed up. I've been doing a bunch of batches here, and one thing I'm doing is manipulating airflow a little differently in the Quest lately. I'm doing 120 gram batches, and there's 2 ways that you can do it. Let's go ahead and turn our timer up. We always do that. I'm roasting with 7.5 amps, and right now I have airflow at max for cooling. We're at about 130, so at 2 minutes I'm going to switch out the cooling here. I'm going to take out the cooling tray. And I have 2 options for airflow. One is that actually what we found out is that if you keep the rear hatch open, you are going to actually reduce airflow through the drum because you're essentially bypassing the loop. And you're going to have less heat escaping out the back of the roaster here. At your heating vent here. So if we keep this rear hatch open, what you're doing is creating a very low airflow in the drum, and it actually accumulates a lot of heat. So I'm at 2 minutes. I will remove my roast. It is cool. And for right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up because I want to see some more rapid development here. This is just for demonstration purposes. It's a Sumatra. It's a very wet coffee. So when I open it, ironically, my temperature on my digital thermometer tends to drop. We get first crack about 380, and it was just at about 340 and dropped to 320. I don't know why. I don't think that represents a really what's happening in the roast chamber. So the other way I could be doing this is, now I have my airflow at 9. Normally I'd be knocking that down to around 4.5, where my little green arrow. I could also go ahead and close my top and use a very low airflow for a warm-up period that would continue to accelerate. You can see my roast is moving along. It's already hit a fairly orange level there. There we go. Later on, I can shape that. I will keep my heat consistent at 7.5 amps, and I will can manipulate my airflow to sort of gain a lot of heat, get the drying out phase going in the coffee, and then bring it down in order to enter first crack slowly, and as well as manipulate the time after first crack. If you can see, we were already in the rear there. That's not smoke, that is moisture. We're just at a drying out phase in the coffee. So I wanted to talk about that. 2 ways to manipulate air. Open the back, that's just humidity there, or change your airflow. Use very low airflow early in the roast and increase it progressively in order to shape the profile of the roast the way you want. Just some Quest ideas.